Good morning, everyone. Let's continue with our previous topic, KNN. So, we already know what is supervised learning and unsupervised learning. In supervised learning, we use the label data. There are two types of supervised learning: regression and classification. We have seen a lot of example in classification. That is when uh, the outputs are discrete values. Discrete means a finite values. Regression means you have continuous output. For example, I have given an example previously also. Uh, if you want to classify the students into pass class, fail class, FCD, first class, second class, then we call that as a classification problem. But if your output is like student percentage, that is 71%, 72%, 75%, 78%, that's a regression problem. Okay, output is continuous. There are not any only 4 or 5 classes. Lot of classes will be there. It's a continuous output. So in unsupervised learning, we just have a bunch of inputs. So we will not be having any labels for those input data. Okay, when it comes to KNN, we have to make certain implementation decisions in KNN. So we need to answer these few questions while implementing the KNN algorithm. First and foremost is how we have to measure the distance between the query point and the training examples. So we already know we are using Euclidean distance between input vectors and the training examples. Input vector is nothing but each and every in our query attributes. It's a vector. What if there is a tie for the nearest points? Okay, 2 points, if they are having uh, same distance, if they are at same distance from the query point, what you are going to do? In that case, we'll include both the points. What if there is a tie for the most common label? Okay, uh, so your query is uh, like it is common to two labels. Then what you will do? So what we'll do is the nearest point we are going to select as our class label. Okay. In this case, we will select the nearest label. Distant point will remove. What if there is a tie for both? Tie for both means like uh, 4 labels are there, two positive and two negative, and your it's a k and n, k is equal to 4 problem. 4 neighbors are there, which are uh, which have been selected by the algorithm. Then what you will do? See, this was the problem we discussed before also in KNN. When you select K3 or 4, this kind of issues might occur. Okay. So in these cases, what we are going to do? Okay, we are going to make little changes to our KNN algorithm, and we call that as weighted nearest neighbors. Weighted nearest neighbors means what? See, we are going to add weights to the points. Okay, weights to the neighbors of our query point. If our query point is x2, so if there are 4 neighbors, we are going to add weights to that 4 neighbors. Weights are nothing but weightage. So what is the what will be the logic while adding the weights? Logic is simple. So nearest neighbor will have more weight when it comes to when compared to the far neighbor. So obviously, if there are 4 or 5 neighbors to our query point, which is the neighbor which is very close will have more weightage. Weight will be more. The neighbor which is far will have less weight. To add this weight, we need some metric or logic, right? The one way is to weight is nothing but the distance, inverse of the distance between those 2 points, between the query point and the neighbor. Okay, if the distance is more, obviously weight will be less. So we take the inverse of the distance between the query point and the neighbor. If the neighbor is very close to our query point, then the distance will be less, so weight will be more. So using this logic, we can add the weights to the neighbor, and then uh, that ambiguity, if there are equal cases around our query point, then based on the weights, we are going to say which one is closest. So distance weighted nearest neighbor algorithm. Previously, we saw just neighbor KNN algorithm. Here, if you add distance weighted, weight, if you add weight is nothing but with respect to the distance weighted nearest neighbor algorithm will be like this. Uh, the algorithm is as follows. In exam, they may ask you to write KNN algorithm, or they may ask you to write distance weighted nearest neighbor algorithm. Okay, both are different. You have to keep it in mind which algorithm you are writing. All right. So distance vector nearest algorithm is like this. Training. First part is training. For each training example, x comma f of x. See, f of x is nothing but our label that for that x, what class it belongs to. X comma for each training example, add the example to the training list. In KNN, training is nothing but we'll just go on storing those examples in the memory. All the examples will store it in the memory. All right. And then once training is over, we have to do the classification. Okay, given a query instance xq. Okay, I need to find out xq to which class it belongs to. Xq has to be classified. Okay, let x1, x2, xk denote the k instances from training examples. So x always it indicates the input. So there are k number of training examples that are nearest to xq. Okay, from x, assume that 4 or 5 training examples are near to xq. Now in that, I have to find out which one has got like maximum class value along with the weightage. Okay, weighted nearest neighbor. So now return. Okay, you have to return that class. You can see here we are multiplying the weight to the function. Okay, to whatever distance you have calculated. For that, we have to multiply it with the weight, and it will return maximum value it will return. Okay, WI is nothing but inverse of the distance between our query point and the example x1, x2, x3. So that is the weight. That weight will multiply, and maximum value among all those 4 or 5 examples, it will return f of xq. That will be returned. So this is the distance weighted nearest neighbor algorithm. Okay, usually it will be used for discrete value target functions. Continuous, okay, discrete values means if there are only 3 or 4 classes like that. Okay, if there are continuous classes, continuous target function, continuous value target function, then usually we'll not use KNN algorithm. We'll go for one more approach. We call it as locally weighted regression. Is it clear? Weighted KNN we'll use for KNN usually we use for only discrete value target function, wherein we have finite just few classifications are there. For that we'll use discrete value target KNN, weighted KNN. If you have continuous value target function, then we'll use one more approach. So we call it as locally weighted regression. The phrase locally weighted, why it is called as locally weighted regression? We call it as local regression because the function is approximated based only on data near to the query point. Okay, there may be so many examples, but we are interested in only the data which are closest to the query point. So it is called as locally weighted. Weighted because the contribution of each and every training example is weighted by its distance from the query point that you already know. We are going to assign the weights based on the distance of the query point to our to other training example, to other nearest neighbors. Regression means approximating a real value target function. The discrete value means two or three or four classes. If it is like that, discrete value, real valued or continuous value. Regression means approximating. We are going to do the approximation of a real value target function. So this is the approximation. This is how we do the approximation in case of locally weighted linear regression. Consider a locally weighted regression in which target function f is approximated near x cube using a linear function of the form. Say we are using a linear function of this form where f of x is equal to w naught. See w naught, w1, w2, wn indicates the weights. Okay, a1, a2, a3, a1 of x, a1, a2, a3 are nothing but the attributes of the instance x. Okay, a1 is the first attribute of x, a2 is the second attribute, similarly an of x. So we are generating an approximation for the function here using this linear equation. All right, using the linear equation, and each and w naught is constant. Okay, it is some constant value which we will decide. W1 is the weight assigned to the first attribute. W2 is the weight assigned to the second attribute. So how we are going to assign the weights? See, whenever you talk about weighted regression, the first question is, or in whatever cases weights comes into picture, in few other algorithms will make use of weights. So what do you mean by how to assign the weights? In KNN, you already saw, we are going to find out the weights with respect to the distance between the query point and the other nearest neighbors. Okay, so that is how we are going to find out the weights. In this case, see, we'll assign the weights by calculating the error with respect to the error. Okay, weights first we'll assign, and then we'll go on changing the weights to bring down the error present in the function approximation. So how to calculate the error? See, to calculate the error, we are going to make use of gradient descent training rule. Okay, the gradient descent derivation is also there, which we will see when we are studying the neural network. Okay, so if you apply there, I will explain in detail what is the gradient descent training rule, and this derivation also you will see there. Uh, Now I just this change in weight. Okay, when you apply gradient descent training rule, the change in weight delta wj, you'll get like this. You'll get the formula. See, f of x is the target value, and minus f of x. This one is the generated value, actual value, derived value. Okay, this difference we'll take and we'll multiply with that particular attribute. Then we are going to get the change in weight. So this change in weight, initially we'll assign some weights and then we'll go on updating the weights. But this is for local value. See, this change in weight is for global thing. Okay, it is done for all the examples. But uh, we are, as we mentioned, locally weighted linear regression. Locally, we are interested in only the query point and its neighbors, which are very closest. So this gradient rule, when we come to our neighbors, it will be modified like this. See, this is applied only for nearest neighbors. Okay, so x belongs to k nearest neighbors of query point x cube. And this capital K, we call it as kernel function. Okay, d of x cube comma x is nothing but the distance of the query point with respect to that particular x is nothing but example. So kernel function means this entire thing, it will calculate the distance that is weight value, and it will multiply with the this difference between the actual output and the derived output, and multiplied with that particular attribute value. So this entire thing, if you do the summation, you will get the change in weight. Okay, so this change in weight will use to update the weights of each and every attributes. Okay, approximation. While doing the approximation, we'll assign the weights and we'll calculate the new weights. That new change in weight, the new value whichever has to be updated, it is calculated using this last equation. Okay, that change in weight, whatever we get, that will be upgraded, that will be updated with this linear equation. Okay, we are trying to approximate the value of the f of x. Okay, for continuous, see, this is a regression problem. We are generating the continuous target valued function. Okay, for approximation, change in weight is done like this, and that too with particularly with respect to the nearest neighbors from that query form. Okay, so this is about locally weighted regression. In instance-based learning, first we saw k nearest neighbor, and then locally weighted regression, and radial basis function is there, and then case-based learning. So these are the four types of instance-based learning we'll be studying in our syllabus. Okay, in the next class, we shall see radial basis function. See in exam, uh, direct questions you'll get explain KNN or explain locally weighted regression. You have to write all these equations and you have to write the explanation. Or they may ask a radial basis function or uh, last one, case-based learning. Okay, these are the four types of methods in instance-based classifiers we are going to study. And then one more type is the reinforcement learning. That's the last part. So tomorrow I will continue with the radial basis function. Okay, thank you.